Hello! So, what I want to do today is talk you through not only how Faye lost 17 kgs, but how she then kept it off. So, Faye joined our team. She has a long history with Slimming World, yo yo dieting, not really exercising, now and again doing cardio. What we wanted to do for Faye was show her not only how she loses the weight the first time, but how she then keeps it off for good so that she's never dieting again. So there's a few things that we are going to run through. We're going to look at her goals, her struggles, what action plan we put in place, what the outcome was, and then how you guys who are watching this do the same. So this is my lovely little Faye. When she joined us, she wanted to very much break free from Slimming World, sins, thinking that, little bags of Haribos were good and having those as snacks because sins told her they were. And instead showing her how she loses 2 to 3 dress sizes, how she gets more comfortable in swimwear and underwear, because she loves to holiday. She absolutely loves to go off with her husband. And actually, she was finding that she was wanting to cover up. She didn't really feel herself. She didn't have that same level of confidence. So she wanted to lose weight, but this time she wanted to lose it for good. And that was the really important nuanced bit. This wasn't just showing somebody how to lose weight by drinking shakes and counting sins, but showing somebody how they lose weight and how they keep it off for life. That is the bit where the magic lies. Other important things, I suppose, about Faye, she runs her own business. So she has a super sedentary job. She is the go-to lash lady in the Bristol area, Portishead, if you know it, which means it's great that she's busy, but it means that she is sat hunched over all day long, really long hours across weekends. And she was finding that that was a real struggle for her in terms of how she felt in her body. So this is where she was. Sluggish, absolutely sick of dieting, sick of losing a stone because she was going to Mallorca next month and then going to Mallorca, having a massive blowout and coming back exactly the same place that she was a month ago. And then thinking, oh, I got a wedding and getting a stone off for that and then putting it all back on again. She was absolutely sick of that cycle. Low energy, just not really feeling herself, little bit flat. Actually hiding from photos rather than wanting to be in them all the time because she was lacking that confidence. She loves her clothes and not really wearing the clothes that she enjoyed to wear because she didn't feel comfortable in them. Instead, she felt like she was choosing things that hid her tummy or tucked her arms in rather than picking stuff because she loved the colour or she loved the cut or she loved how it made her feel. So that was what we wanted to get back for her. These were the struggles that she had. So these were the things that were stopping her from getting to where she wanted to be, to take her away from hiding from photos, feeling sluggish, no energy, and getting her to where she wanted to be. This was what stood in the way. First thing, super cardio mindseted. So if she was having a push to lose weight, she would go out for runs and be doing HIIT workouts on YouTube. And that was very like where her mind stood on it, that she just needed to burn as many calories in a short period of time as possible. Sedentary job, we already covered that with long hours, which meant that, day-to-day activity was non-existent. Super social. I can probably count my friends on one hand. Faye got a lot of them. She got a lot of friends. So she's out socialising, eating lots of meals, going out for drinks, holidaying, all of those things that meant that she'd never found something that was sustainable for her because those were the things that totally derailed her. And it was instead she'd lose weight for an event and then at the event pretty much put it all back on again. So it was showing her how she could lose weight in that lifestyle. Had never strength trained. Actually, I remember talking to her for the very first time when she joined our little crew, and she was like, "You'll never get me in a gym. You will absolutely never get me in a gym. I hate those places. I hate the atmosphere. Everything about it." She was like, "Not for me. Will never happen." Fine, no dramas. We can set you off at home. Spoiler alert, she's in the gym a year and a half later. Had a real all or nothing mindset. So she was either on the wagon, off the wagon. There was no middle ground. Oh, I've just set off balloons. I don't know how I've done that. She was either on the wagon or off the wagon. It was like all in diet mode or all out, I'll have a tray of Krispy Kremes and a side of gin and tonic, please. There was just no consistency for her, and that is what we see a lot with Slimming World ladies. This real sense of in or out, not just like ticking along, living life. So, action plan. Let's have a look at what we did for Faye. I need to figure out how to move my head, because it's like right over what I wrote, which is terrible annoying. But what we did was, number one, we put sustainable nutrition in place for Faye. What does that mean, you cry? Well, it means nutrition that actually suits her lifestyle, nutrition that she can do for the rest of her days, nutrition that gets her out of this shitty yo-yo cycle. That is going to be different for every single one of you watching this, because your lifestyles are all going to be super different. Some of you might be boring little buggers like me and have less social life, but it's just that you lack time because you've got 54 million kids and you're running a business and trying to be a half decent wife. So it just depends on what your little lifestyle is. Number two is we looked at effective exercise for Faye. Running around the block wasn't the right option for her, and actually sitting down all day and then putting your trainers on and going from sod all to this massive expenditure just wasn't working for her. It was making her really hungry, which meant she was then overeating, which meant she didn't lose weight, and it's just wiping her energy. She's really tired. So it's effective exercise for your goals, depending on what it is that you want. Number three, we put in place for Faye this system that we call a lasting lifestyle. So yes, we're going to get her a goal, but then we have to show her how she keeps it. What steps does she put in place so that she knows that, she's lost 3 dress sizes, she's lost 17 kgs, so that she keeps it off for the rest of her days? Well, we show her how she handles holidays, and we show her how she handles social occasions, and we build out that roadmap for her. So those are the 3 really key things that we did for Faye that meant that genuinely the game was utterly changed for her, that she has entirely broken free of where she was. This is obviously her before shot. This actually isn't even her end shot. This was maybe between half and 3/4 of the way through her journey. So actually she went on to lose more weight than this, but I just love her little smiley face in that photo, which is why I've used it. But yeah, she actually lost more weight than this. So she lost 17 kgs overall. So that is, for most people, 7 kg is about a dress size. So 7, 14, it was around 3 dress sizes that she lost, which is a huge difference. She's regularly exercising and actually genuinely enjoys it. She sees the benefit, not from a weight loss perspective, but from actually a mental health perspective as well, how good it makes her feel, what energy it gives her. The fact that actually when she's finished work, she still wants to do stuff with her husband and go out and have a walk and, I don't know, go and watch a movie together, go for a meal, rather than finishing work and just wanting to lie on the sofa or go to bed. She's got that pep back in her stride, that sense of oomph where she wants to get out, bloody living life. She has also maintained her weight now for over a year. So this is the bit I want to bang on about in this little presentation, because I think this is the bit that most women miss. That some of you will be sat there thinking, well, 17 kgs, I could lose that if I did Herbalife. I could do that if I go to Slimming World. I wouldn't disagree. You potentially could. But I would hugely disagree that you could keep it off, because I don't really know anybody who does. And that is the key bit here. It's finding the right solution for you. To lose 3 dress sizes and to then keep that off for the rest of your bloody days is pretty big time. How you can do the same. I've just tried to think about 5 key steps that I would take just from Faye's journey that you could apply into your life today if you're seeing similarities between yourself and Faye. If you've done Slimming World, if you like cardio, well, if you're doing cardio because you think it loses to weight loss, if you're quite sedentary in your day-to-day life, if you're in an office, these will all be good steps for you. Number 1, stop labelling food as good and bad. It got to a point where it was just seeing like mini bags of Haribo is good, because that was what Slimming World had told with SINS. Whereas actually there is no good or bad food. It's all just food. It will pretty much does the same job, but a lot of it will make us feel an awful lot better. And some of it is for moderation, because ultimately it doesn't really add into the bigger picture, but it's showing you what works for you in your little life. Number 2, couldn't emphasize this enough, and that is figure out your calorie deficit. Because then you're in control. You know exactly what it is that you need to be doing. If you're watching this and you don't know how to do that, drop me a message on Instagram and just say, hey, watched your presentation on Faye. Can you please, I don't know, show me how to do my calorie deficit, and I'll figure it out for you. Number 3, step away from cardio and pick up the weights. That can be in any format: resistance bands, TRX, dumbbells, kettlebells, barbells, whatever's going to float your boat. But we have to get some lean muscle mass on your frame, not just for fat loss, but to then keep that fat loss. Number 4, leave behind the all or nothing mindset. It does absolutely nothing to help you on your journey. Instead, what we want to do is take a really balanced approach. Boring is actually good in this scenario. Rather than like all in, all out, we're just going to be consistently, average. I don't want you to be exceptional. I don't want you to be shit. I just want you to be average, and that will give you phenomenal results. And then finally, never ever underestimate day-to-day movement. Picking up the kids and parking at a further car park, or walking them into school, or driving them to school if it's too far for their little legs, and walking home yourself and then walking back later. Anything you can do to increase your day-to-day movement will make a massive difference to your ability to lose weight now, and then your ability to keep it off later. Also your overall fitness, your cardiovascular health, and just how you're feeling yourself. So they are the 5 key takeaways. If you're watching this and you think that all sounds good, I don't know what to do with all that, drop me a message. Drop me a message and I will happily have a chat with you and see what we could do to help you, or at least give you some values so that you feel like you can start on the right path. You can find me on Instagram at Amy Morris Coaching. And I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope that you are all sat there thinking, Faye's the dogs, she's absolutely killed it, because she has. But like I said before, she's done it by being consistently average, which is what I need all of you guys to be if it's a result that you're after. Cheers.